My name is Rick Rebusel. I'm the Principal Consultant for Business Transition Consulting. When a business first starts out and the main worry is profitability, it seems a little silly to talk about long-term goals. But once the business stabilizes and is earning a profit, talking about long-term goals is the way to keep the ownership aligned and the progress of the business monitored and on a course that will continue to grow. When the owners get together to set goals, they should articulate their values one to the other. And this is a very important process. A lot of businesses don't do that expressly, but if you do make an effort to define your values and express them one to the other, then when you set goals, you'll be in alignment. You'll understand the motivations both personally and from a business standpoint. When you set goals, the decision-making process is the same as any other decision-making process. The first thing you do is assemble information. You do research. You talk to people. You find out who is going to be affected by the decision, and then you get as many opinions as you can. Find out all you can, and then reach a decision. Compare the ways that you reach the decisions and come up with some sort of a goal that you want to be executed by the business. Now, the setting of the goal has to be in writing. There's no way to just have an understanding about a goal and have it mean something. Not only that, if it's in writing, it's transparent. You've declared it not only to yourselves, but to the people around you, so that people who are involved know what that goal is. And that's an important part of the planning process. Once the goal is set, there is a determination which occurs in every business to determine whether that goal will be reached. And that's the operational side of the business. Decisions made on the operational side use the same process. We look for information, we talk to people who've done it before, we talk to people who were affected. We look at the goals to find out what the values are behind the decision. And then we decide on certain actions to enable the progress to the goal. And part of the planning for an operational plan is to set milestones or use metrics to find out what the process is doing. How much progress are we making in what period of time? All of this goes into the operational plan, and the operational plan will either proceed in a timely fashion or it won't. Now, the critical thing to understand about a plan is that a plan is nothing more than a group of relevant decisions. That grouping of decisions is something that will be changed every time a decision is made in the business. This includes operational decisions as well as strategic decisions. If an operational decision is made that prevents the business from meeting a set goal, then that plan has been changed by that operational decision. And the critical question is, when do the people who set the goals, the owners who do the policy making for the business, when are they apprised of that decision? When do they know that a goal will not be reached? And how do they react to it, and how quickly? The format traditionally for a strategic plan has been a written narrative of the plan. Sometimes there are graphs, sometimes there are spreadsheets, sometimes there are accounting pages. But basically we're talking about a writing, a discrete writing from the operational planning, which may take different formats. You may have spreadsheets, it may be computer programs, there may be just charts, there may be data that is accumulated. But one way or another, all of these things constitute the plan for the business. The issue here is, how do we keep track of that planning and how does the long-term goal setting, the strategy, interact with the operational plan? Traditionally, the strategic plan is put together, presented to the policy-making board, which might be a board of directors, might be owners, it could be some other advisory group. And after the strategic plan is presented, it's approved, put in a 4-ring notebook, and put on a shelf. Maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years, maybe the time of the next retreat, we'll take another look at that strategic plan and see what happened. One of the dangers of doing that, especially in the fast-paced world of business that we have now, is that the policy owners, the people who set the goals, the people who have the authority to set the goals, are not immediately notified when a goal is determined to be unattainable. And when is that goal determined to be unreasonable or unattainable? When the operating plan is changed so the goal can't be met. Now, a decision made operationally is a decision that affects operation, execution, but because it may be the decision that keeps a goal from being met, it in effect changes the strategic plan, and it may be without notice to the policymakers, the owners. The way to handle that is the format of the plan. That problem comes about because of the differing plan documents. The fact that the strategic plan is in a 3-ring notebook, the operational plan is on a spreadsheet and 2 computers, there isn't an integration of the planning. The concept has to be that the plan for the business is changed by any decision made. And any decision made needs to be recorded and known so that everyone up and down the line is apprised of what is going on in the business. Now, this isn't super easy to do, but it isn't really hard to do either, especially in these days of spreadsheets. Now, that's not to say that it has to happen every day. Maybe it happens every week. But the spreadsheet, the way of determining what's happening with the plan of the business, needs to include both the strategic plan goal and the progress of the action plan to accomplish the goal. And that's done with the various milestones or metrics that are recorded to show the progress. The very thing that should be avoided is the usurpation of the authority of the owners by decisions made at the operational level. And of course, this happens every day in business. In the due course of business, many times, decisions are made which will then prevent goals from being realized. The question is, who knows and who had the authority to make the change? And once the change is made, how quickly do we need to react? I would submit that the format of the planning document is critical to being able to react and control the business for the benefit of the owners. Thanks for watching this video.